Salman, guys. Hope everyone is well. Let me just see if I can just fix this. Um, I just wanted just to talk a little bit around bullying, and I was having a conversation with a mother, a mother of a son, and she was just teaching me, oh, not teaching me, telling me how, in today's time, boys are so aggressive, and what she's trying to do is teach her son how to manage bullies. And so I was like, oh, so with your son, if there's a bully, what do you say to your son? How does your son manage it? So she was saying, Uti, she teaches her son to tell the bully, Uti, the bully's unkind. Sorry, Mr. Bully, you are unkind. And to ask the bully nicely if the bully can stop. Failure of which, if the bully doesn't stop, then he must then go and tell the teacher, or then tell the mom that he's getting bullied. There's a lot of mothers out there that are the cause of why their sons are getting fucked up at school. Like that type of advice is absolute dog shit. That's just the shittest advice. Think of a mindset of a bully. He's a bully. Like, oh, that's unkind. Oh, sorry, Mr. Bully. That's the mindset of a bully. Think about it like that. Don't think about it from a mindset of someone who understands reason. If this is a person who is busy eating your son's lunch, it's a person who has bypassed the fact that it's wrong to eat someone's food without their permission, without their yes. That person has bypassed that. So this is at a lower level of kiddies, is a criminal. So when someone is breaking into my home, I can't walk up to them and say, sorry, Mr. Criminal, you being unkind. Please stop breaking into my house. The fuck? And unlike the teacher who's ever so present right there in class, maybe it's just a couple of walks away. In this country we live in, me calling the cops if someone is breaking in, by the time the cops get here, my stuff has been sold in 10 other countries. So like, parents, what are we teaching our kids? How are we teaching our kids to handle conflict? It goes from discussion to debate, from debate to argument, from argument to conflict. A bully skips all of that shit and just meets you at conflict. A bully doesn't mind taking it there right now. And if your child only understands discussion and maybe a bit of debate, your child is not, you haven't equipped, as a parent, you haven't equipped your child with the tools to handle a bully. That means your child will be one of those guys at work who are on anxiety medication because their line manager is a jerk. That person who is getting emotionally abused in relationships, or because your child can't handle conflict. Conflict resolution is a must. It's a total different animal, conflict resolution, for females. Because for the most part, females end it from a verbal point. If the average guy, not an abusive guy, an average guy is having an altercation, a verbal altercation with a female, I know it won't go anywhere. So we can go, if I'm having a discussion with the female, and then it moves from a discussion to a debate, and it goes from debate to an argument, and it becomes a verbal conflict, I know it ends there. There's nothing that can happen. She can literally look at me and say, well, fuck you, Penson. She can say that, and it will end there. Now, as a guy, if I have a discussion with the guy, and it moves from a discussion to a debate, from debate to argument, from argument to conflict, and that guy is brave enough in a conflict space now it's conflict, to say fuck you, Penson. We as men have another level, generally speaking, which is now violent, physical violence. So you need to understand that when you teach your son, you need to understand it as a mother. As a mother, you need to understand that these guys have a level that I might not understand as a general female. And if my son is not ready to go there, if my son is not ready to tap into that level, of which a bully already lives in that level, your son is going to get bullied every time. So as toxic as it is, I teach my kids, hey bro, if someone says something you don't understand, you ask them, hey, I don't understand what you're saying. Do you want to fight? because it cuts to the riffraff. It cuts to what they may. A lot of bullies hide behind emotional bullying, and they'll bully you from an emotional point or from a psychological point, and they'll hide behind all of these things. So if you quickly take it to a level of saying, I know you're teasing, but it's no longer funny. It's almost like you're attacking me. Do you want us to fight? And of course, I've equipped my kids with those tools. Ask the question. Just don't pull the plug. Don't pull the trigger. Ask the question. And I've seen that quickly sorts out a huge majority of the bullies. Because I'll tell you for free, if you are being bullied, physically, whatever, if you meet the bully at the energy at which he's there with, it'll only be so. After a while, for the most part, they'll stop. Yeah, you'll fight me today. You win today because you're a bigger guy, a more aggressive guy, whatever. I'll fight you again tomorrow. Yeah, you'll beat me tomorrow. I'll fight you again the next day. And when I come the third day, I'm coming with the baseball bat. And I'll fight again, and I'll bring my cousins and my brothers and my uncles, and we'll keep going. And until the time where you realize that bullying is wrong. Logic, reason doesn't work for bullies. Don't teach your kid to try and conflict resolution with the bully with reasoning and logic. If it was that simple, if it was just verbal, we wouldn't have a bullying problem. Meet them at their energy, guys. It's beautiful. We hope we could get to a world where we could just solve conflict with dialogue. Russia and Ukraine, people just sit down, sort it out. America and the Middle East, just sit down and sort it out. China and Taiwan, sit down and talk it out. We wish it was just that simple. Unfortunately, the world is what it is, not what it ought to be. What it is a very violent place. Very violent. So you need to make sure that when you teach as a parent, you equip your kids from everything from mentally being able to unpack and solve problems to physically at any point be ready to tear a guy in fucking half should that moment require that. Yantanda, guys, please comment. Just help me. I'm not perfect. Clearly I'm not. Help me, write comments, just say little things in which I can add into my life and just, I guess, make me a better person and a better father.